Yo, what is up, YouTube boxing family? Uh, I wanted to make this a quick video to congratulate the Tim Duncan of boxing, Errol Spence Jr., aka The Truth. For those of you that don't know, Errol Spence had recently got a 10th round doctor stoppage victory over Yordenis Ugas for the WBA title unification, with Errol Spence's WBC and IBF belt on the line to unify the welterweight division. So, congrats to EJ. I actually saw this fight coming, just simply of the matter that Errol Spence, he was beating Yordenis Ugas' face down, and he wasn't really doing anything spectacular to even win. I will say in the 6th round, Ugas caught EJ with like a good cheap shot because EJ, lost his mouthpiece in the ring, so he was wanting to get his mouthpiece back in, so that way, he could he can reset his bearings. But the referee paused it after EJ got cheap shotted by Ugas, and EJ, he just came back swinging, and he was beating the crap out of Ugas. This fight, I definitely have to rate this fight to be fight of the year contender. I personally think this was one of Errol Spence's toughest fights, just simply due to the fact that Errol Spence has proven to the welterweight division that nobody can't fuck with him, and I think EJ has shown to the world that he doesn't fear anyone, and he is by far the most dangerous fighter out of this entire planet. I will only say that due to the fact that Errol Spence is showing to me that nobody can't mess with him. If anything, this is why that I say Errol Spence, just based off of his skills and talents and his personality, you could put his attributes and his archetype into a video game, and he would come out to be one of the most destructive characters ever. And that's why, for me at least, I actually compare Errol Spence to Mortal Kombat characters like Ermac and Smoke, because this man is the Smoke mixed with Ermac, where he's feared by everyone. And Errol Spence is by far one of the most relentless finishers in boxing, and he is by far one of the most deadliest punchers out there that could really hurt you. And just because people think that his punches don't look like that it's actually hurting you, but it's actually really hurting you late game, to the point where you don't even realize that Errol Spence is actually beating you down. And Ugas, he just had a terrible game plan coming into the fight. Ugas is getting beat the hell up the whole entire fight. He had no adjustments made to actually make any changes to his inside fighting. If anything, he should have just worked the body more, and then he would have had more bigger shots to land. But I don't think that was really going to work out anyway, because Ugas wasn't landing enough and he wasn't throwing accurately enough, and he just let Errol Spence just beat him down, because that pressure got to him, and Ugas's body just showed a lot of wear and tear and weaknesses, to the point where Errol Spence was just beating his ass up. Now, prior to the referee doctor stoppage, Ugas was getting beat up really bad to the face. His right eye was completely shut, looked like it had internal bleeding, very similar to Kell Brook's orbital eye bone injury, in which Ugas has now suffered a right orbital eye bone injury, similar injury to Kell Brook when Errol Spence destroyed his orbital eye bone. So when people say that Errol Spence can't hit, this is another pure example that Errol Spence's punches extremely hurt, to the point where people's faces are being destroyed, just simply due to the fact, like I said, he is by far the most relentless finisher in boxing. And just because you may think oh, well, Errol Spence, he's a volume puncher, blah blah blah, no, he's not. I personally believe that Errol Spence's competition has just been tough to the point where he's not able to get knockouts. But put him in there with anybody like a Conor Ben or any young guy just as hungry as he is. I think Errol Spence basically knocks out a lot of young up and coming welterweights that want to take his belt away, just simply due to the fact that his style has always worked to the point where he's basically a big fundamentally sound defensive pressure style southpaw, in which that he has the style of a how should I say, like a Marvin Hagler with a Sugar Ray Leonard, and then he mixes it up with you, similar to a Floyd Mayweather in a way. And I think Errol Spence's skill set is very comparable to like a Hagler mixed with a Pernell Whitaker, where he knows how to box and he keeps it very simple, but he doesn't need to show you anything flashy, because every single one of his shots that he lands are just pinpoint accurate. Every single shot is thrown with bad intentions, and he's always hurting you because he's such a heavy-handed guy, and he doesn't need to sit down on his punches. So every punch that he's hurting you to your face or to your body, those are real destructive punches where he doesn't need to exert that much energy, and the more he gains pressure, the more defeat that your body gains from him, to the point where he's basically there to knock you out, because he's not going to leave it to the judges. If he knows damn well that you're not going to outbox him, he might as well just get you up out of there. Even though that, obviously, if you look back at the Sean Porter fight, Errol could have made it, he could have made that fight a lot easier by just pumping out his jab all night, and Sean Porter wouldn't be able to get to him. And if he did it to the body first, and then overhand counter, or if he thrown more overhand counters, or uppercut hooks to the point where Sean Porter, he just can't land a single punch, then Errol would have knocked out Sean Porter a lot sooner. But Errol decided to play Sean Porter's game to basically fight him on the inside, and I didn't think that was a smart idea. But then again, Errol Spence is Errol Spence because he's such a relentless fighter, but he's so intelligent at the same time. That just shows the levels of destructiveness that Errol Spence possesses, because he's that type of dude where he reads you like a cell and he breaks you down, like a deciphered code. And that's basically what defines ultimate fighters, in a nutshell. Errol Spence is that destructive ultimate fighter where if you don't respect his game, he's going to make you respect it when he beats you down to the punch, and basically your whole mindset is absolutely destroyed because he's such a destructive fighter. So I gotta give Errol Spence his credit, his flowers. He's by far one of the most deadliest southpaws out there, and I may be biased on it because I'm a southpaw myself, and I study a lot of southpaw fighters, but I will have to say Errol Spence's win over Yordenis Ugas really defined a lot of volumes to show that southpaws really do run boxing, because it's no orthodox fighter will ever mess with a southpaw that has a good high ring IQ like Errol Spence, and great defensive mindset ability to break down a fighter and basically just rip him alive round by round. And I think Errol Spence has proven that when you come into a fight to be focused and you don't let anybody tell you what you can or cannot do, you just unleash your true potential to be that destructive athlete. And I think that can easily be applied to any other sport, but for boxing in particular, Errol Spence is a true definition of a destructive complete fighter. So congratulations to Errol Spence, and respect to Yordenis Ugas for taking a good beating. And I personally had the fight to be a first round KO by Errol Spence, just simply due to the fact that Yordenis Ugas' fighting style was going to be tailor made for him to get hit too much all night. And I thought Errol Spence's pressure and his power is going to get to Ugas, and I thought that could have been the actual route for Errol Spence to go in there and try to knock him out early. But unfortunately, like my prediction didn't go well as planned, but still, Errol Spence managed to get the job done and destroy Yordenis Ugas. So, personally for me, I have to give Errol Spence his credit. He beat a very tough fighter in Ugas, and basically all that's left is Terrence Crawford. So hopefully we can get that fight. I really hope Terrence Crawford doesn't act like a pussy and just take the fight with Errol Spence, because Errol Spence, he said it loud and clear. I'm going to get my shit on my side of the street, and then after that, I'm going to come after you. So, let's play no games to any of you Bud Dick Riders. Let's make this fight happen, and let's not be, acting like children to pretend like this fight can't happen, because Terrence Crawford, he has nobody to fight right now, and if anything, he should just, automatically fight Spence. Now that Spence did all this heavy lifting that Terrence Crawford couldn't, have the balls to do. I think now is the time to get this fight done, because if Terrence Crawford doesn't make the fight with Errol Spence, then we know who's actually ducking the fight. And I personally believe Terrence Crawford, he's gonna duck this fight. But if he doesn't, and he actually signs that, fucking dotted line to make the fight, then I will give Terrence Crawford his credibility. But until then, Terrence Crawford, you better make that fight. And congratulations to Errol Spence for being the king of the welterweight division and the most feared, deadliest fighter in boxing. And, also congrats to Derek James for producing such a great talent. And hopefully, Jermell Charlo can be undisputed come May 14th. So, congrats to EJ for winning 3 belts. This is a great fight of the year contender, and I probably say this is like one of the best fights that is going to go down in welterweight division history for how much success that Errol Spence brought to the table. So yeah, this is a fight to remember. And yeah, man, I'll be out of here. I'll probably go live later on, and I'll be talking about the fights more, and then I'll probably do an open panel. So, alright, I will see you guys later. Salute to the mighty LDBC, and I'm out. Alright, thank you. Bye.